was worried. Ah, it didn't work. Oh, I lost an arm. Oh no, like I need to fix that. Why this is crap. Anyway, we'll keep my hand here, so we'll be okay. Hello, bonjour, hi, welcome to the stream. Welcome behind my cloud. I'm Frank Boucher, cloud of office for today. And for the next, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, because I fixed the stream before starting today. So we're a little bit late, but just kind of 25 minutes. There's few people already there, so hello Stefan, hello Surdy Dev, and all the other friends. The Cloudies are there. Today I have big news to share, kind of exciting moment, at least for me. I think it's interesting, so I want to share that. We'll start with like some kind of update about me. I was not streaming for the past 2 weeks. There's a reason for that. Hey, congrats, who landed? It was code by mistake with a score of 13. So yeah, so we'll do an update, share that big news. And if you arrive late, well, if you arrive late, then you don't know this message, so what's the point? But feel free to ask me, I will be happy to share. So sharing the news, we'll do a PR review. I have a big PR. I'll really have a look into it, but then maybe we'll try to dig deeper and like I will share the updates. And after that, I've been. Will it be? Oh, interesting. It doesn't show. Huh. Well, interesting. I need to change my settings. I wanted to share. Okay, well, I've been reading books. I've been reading multiple books, but one about minimal API. I want to use that more, and I thought, you know what? Let's do that. So it's the author is Andrew Luck. I'm a big fan already, reading all the time his blog post, but he's also publishing, He is the author of a book, and now it's at the 3rd edition. So I bought the 3rd edition, and I start reading that, and it's really cool. So I think if I can have the book on my screen, then there's a few things that I want to share. So we have a project where we migrate from Azure function to minimal API, and depending on the time, I don't think we'll be able to add like a full feature in the code, so we could just like mess around with what I learned in like the middleware and things like that. So yeah, that's the plan of the day. Feel free to ask any questions. It's a safe place to ask questions. We're learning most of the time. You can play the drop game by doing exclamation point. You have the exclamation point CMD or command in the chat to know all the command. And you may hear my phone doing bling bling bling. I kept it open today. And yeah, that's the big news. Are you ready? So, big news. Like I feel like I'm a little bit too big. I didn't stream first. I don't know, like the reason why I didn't stream 2 weeks ago. I forgot. I think I was having trouble with my camera. I was changing camera, and I had something at work also. Oh yeah, I had a big meeting that I couldn't miss. So that's one thing. So that's why 2 weeks ago I didn't stream. Last week was a big week. So if you didn't know, I work at Microsoft. Last week was a big week, and it affected me. People in my team, like the position got what's the word? Terminated. So that's some people close to me in the team. So like I was in a bad. I didn't feel to like be on camera and like all happy and everything, so I decided to instead code. I did lurk a few stream, but yeah, I needed a bit more time today. Big, what's the word? Big thought about those people. Yeah, but that's the update. And now it's hot again. Shouldn't have talked about that. Oh, last week, let's do a show and tell. So I did publish a new video. It's been forever. Oh no, like on that one, it won't be there. Yeah, okay, let's do this. So I have like I start using Brave. I don't know if you know that browser, Brave, and now this is a new profile. So like all my so I started to, when you change a new browser, you need to re-enter your login and everything. And this morning, to show you something I couldn't, I'm teasing you, right? So I created a new profile so I could go deeper. But then in that profile, and that's why the screen is blue compared to like my regular one was black, I think. Yeah. See, that's the regular one. It's black. So let's go on youtube.com/fusheros. So that should be my page. Yeah. Bonjour, hi, hello Frank, hello me. Yeah, so that's why I'm not signed in and not subscribed. This is like pure like unlogin stuff. So yeah, I did a new video and it's how to edit a JSON object into Logic App, and the real the video last time I posted a video was 1 year ago, or like after that it was even even later than that. Like if we go back in videos, so those are like just like shorts, right? I was experimenting with shorts. They don't really count, like 10 months ago, 1 year ago, but like that was a real video 1 year ago. And here, like the real video, it's been 2 years since I upload anything on my YouTube channel. So I was happy with that, getting back into it. Did like a short video, get a few views already, so that's cool. It's about Logic App and how you could edit a JSON document. I did a blog post also available on my blog, Frankie's Notes, frankiesnotes.com. Yeah, there it is. So let me share that in the chat in case you do Logic App. If you don't know what's Logic App is an integration tool that runs in Azure. You could do a lot of, it's very similar to Power Automate. If you don't want to use Azure, or like because like you don't have a subscription running or something like that, you could also use Power Automate. Power Automate is kind of like the brother of Logic App. In fact, it runs on top of Logic App, and Power Automate sits in your Office 360. Is it 360 Office 360 or 365? Anyway, in the online office. So it works there, and you could have connections, and then like it's an integration tool. So what it will do, and I just realized to do start one. Cool. What it will do, it will react. It's a little bit like if this then that, but on steroids. So you could like, hey, if I receive an email, if I do this, like do blah 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 blah. So I use that often, and we'll be using it for like, in fact I'm using it in a tool that we work here online on a stream, and it's the reading notes, where I receive like the article, and then in that JSON, the article, when I'm trying to save that, well, I was getting errors because that element, that property called text of the blog post, was big, kind of expected, right? It's a blog post, and I honestly don't really need it. So I was like, okay, I need to remove that. But I was like, oh, how can I edit a JSON object inside the Logic App? It's a low code, no code tool. So then I found out that with the compose action, so the way it works here is like this. You have actions. So with the compose action here, and then we go and we set property, we can say, hey, to that specific object, that property, do something. So I could have like, make it shorter, do like a string cut or whatever. Decided I don't need that. I don't need to save the blog post, I save the URL and things like that, so that's fine with me. If like the author remove the article, I think that's fine. Like I prefer having a look and say, whoops, the author removed the article. There's probably a good reason, than instead keeping my version. I'm not trying to copy anything. I'm just trying to refer for my notes. So yeah, so you can do that now. So like in 5 minutes, it was fixed. So anyway, I did a video. It worked. It was fun to get it back at doing video. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, anything else I should share? Oh yeah, been messing around with Raspberry Pi. I love Raspberry Pi, and like it's always like you always see me with a hoodie because like I'm in the basement and I have a central system of heat climatization, and of course the basement is always colder than the rest of the house. So I was like, hey, that would be cool to have like a Raspberry Pi and like have it measuring the temperature and humidity and things like that. And like soon it will be the how do you call that? Planting, when you seeding season, because you need to start your plants if you want to have vegetable in the summer and stuff like that. So I was like, that could be cool to have a camera that take a picture every day or something like that, so I could see them growing, and just for fun, you know. So I had my Raspberry Pi. Let's go bigger. Raspberry Pi, and so I had that, and doing the photo, I'm using the cable, so that works. And then I said, okay, like I want to take the temperature, so I buy a tiny sensor. Where is it? There it is. Like, it's so far from the stuff I usually talk about, but yeah. So I have a little sensor, and this is a Pi Zero, if you don't know. So this is a Pi Zero. I have also a Raspberry Pi 3, so it's bigger. But to put closer to the planet, I was like, oh, I think that one will be better instead of the big one. Well, the big one. It's not that big, but you know, it's bigger. So I needed the pins, and I don't know, it's not working. It's it's not the greatest work in terms of soldering, right? That's the word, right? Soldering. But I don't know. Maybe I killed them. Maybe like initially I think there was like a shortcut, so I kind of like redid everything, and now it's not working. And I know the code is working and everything, because if I take that and put that on the Raspberry Pi 3, then it works. I was like, well. And I was like, I don't want to have like all the time 2 Raspberry running, like when one could do everything. So look like I will need to, I don't know, like unsolder everything and then try with a different set of pins. That one also, the pins all look like different length and stuff, so maybe that's the reason. I really need to get out of that scene because I don't like having my ends cut, though, even there. Okay, so that was the news. That was the news. So let's do that. To do done 1. Yeah. Hey, Hasman, welcome aboard. First time in the chat. Very happy to have you, sir. Oh, I'm saying sir. Maybe you're not a sir. I don't know. Hey, hope you're doing good. RP sound so cool. PR, I'm assuming. Also, the passion you have for tech is an event to showing. Yeah, it's cool. Like, I have a lot of fun with tech. Like, you know, that's why I do the job I do, is just because it gets me excited and happy. And I stream and do video because when I show that to my wife and kid, they were like, yeah, and what? Even the news I'm about to share, like, they were like, is it good? I was like, yeah, it's good. I think it's good. Like, you should be happy for me. So, you know what? Enough teasing. Let's start the to-do. There it is, sharing the news. I mean the Raspberry Pi. Oh yeah, okay, Pi. Yeah, I love the Pi. And like that one, I think I received it in an event, so maybe also the Pi is broken. That's possible, but I got it for free, so I cannot complain, right? And it's old version. I think it's like the Pi Zero. It's not W, and it's like version 1. So maybe I could buy another one, or like, you know, I think now the Pi Zero is to version 2. I did buy a Pico, but that's super tiny and there's no cable for the camera, so I feel like it will be a lot of cable going out. And since this will go closer to plants, like there will be probably water and like a lot of humidity, so I'm not sure I want to have like so many loose cable. I'm male. My name is Princess Hisam. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. Okay, so the news, the big news about URL shortener is, drum roll, and if I zoom, can I zoom here? Yeah, I can zoom here. This is the big news. Microsoft. The URL shortener and the Tiny Blazer admin website have been moved under the official Microsoft open source account. And the reason why, I need water. So they reached out to me because and there's information I can share and there's information I cannot share. We'll try to share as much as I can, okay? So yes, so that's the big news. Should be my thumbnail of that stream. So they were interested. So the reason why they were interested. So there's different service in Azure and at Microsoft. One of them is Azure Communication Services. It's a fantastic tool where you could have integration in a chat. If you want to build an application with a chat, you could have control on that. The video conferences, kind of like if you want to build your own Zoom or Teams or like whatever tools you have, but like for your clients and corporate and whatever, you know, you want to have the control on that. They offer those kind of services, so like it's hosted in Azure and things like that. And one of other service they have is the SMS to send text messages. So there was a big client in the health industry in the US that was in a need or I was looking for a way to shorten our URL. And the reason why they were looking for is like the major one, Bitly and all the others, are blocked by the phone company. So they decided instead to go with the URL shortener to shorten the URLs. And for that, like they need to be able to provide support. There's like rules, like, you know, cannot offer, and they need also to change it. So they asked me if I was interested to take my URL shortener and bring it under the Microsoft OSS meaning open source account. I was like, yeah, but like, will it change the project? Because I built that project initially for me, but as soon as I saw that the community was interested, you know, like there's like 200 forks and like bunch of stars and like people like that, bunch of contributors. I could go down below. Where is it? Here. So like we have, I should go smaller. So we have like 14. Like we have a bunch of contributor in there. So like I want to keep that part of the. I want to keep the project itself. So it's like, yeah, no problem. So like I'm now still reviewing the PR. So they did a big PR. It changed a little bit the project. We'll continue to improve it. They have a special needs, of course, for that specific client, but also it matches needs that was requested by many different users for that project. So we'll realign that so it can continue to live and be useful for everyone. they don't need the tiny Blazor admin website. So for them, they want to cut that and use probably like something like a CLI tool or directly a REST API. So that's why they do the change. We'll have a look in the PR into that. And here we see I was in Azure Friday a year ago, I think, or 2 years ago with Scott Hanseman. I was super nervous, but he's so nice that it was fantastic because like it was a he does a lot of video in a series where like it's a I forgot the name of that series, like penny something, like every penny is trying to lower his cost as much as possible. So yeah, so the big news is that. So 2 of the projects, so now if you go on my profile, you will see that 2 of the project are now, if we go here, that's my profile. If we go here, we can see that the URL shortener is now under the Microsoft account, and the Tiny Blazor admin website is also under the Microsoft account. Though, if you go and say GitHub, Fujifilm, and AzUrlshortener, you will be redirected automatically to the Microsoft one. So you don't need to learn a new project. So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, so I did the switch to this account last week, and I was not nervous. I was emotional. I think I was excited and also a little bit scared, I guess. Even if I build that tool with you behind my cloud, right, or streaming and everything, I think that I think it was like then like now engineer at Microsoft will be looking into the code. I was like, wow, like I don't want them to judge me, but of course they didn't. The goal of this was not to an exercise of style. It was let's make it work. And I'm using that tool every day. So okay, so that was the news. That's cool, right? I was okay to be happy. I'm sorry, I need to check my phone. Feeling nervous for some reason, so I just want to make sure there's no fire at the office. Yeah, so the reason why I have a new profile is because now that it's a Microsoft account and my account is connected to Microsoft, if I go and try to go in the pull request, then it tells me that I need to authenticate it with Microsoft. But this is my personal machine. It's not a Microsoft machine, so I can't. So what I did is I created a new account, and it's called F. Boucheros. Let's go to my profile, just to be clear in case eventually someone go there and they say, well, like, you're not active at all. So Frank Boucher, this is me, same picture, because I don't want to lie, I'm not trying to be invisible. It's possible that I will use this account. We'll continue to work on the URL shortener and everything, so I guess we'll probably be using that. So yeah, so here to be clear, I say, hey, this is my second account. My real one is here. I don't know if you have a better idea. I absolutely need another account to be able to go in the URL shortener and like go see the PR and things like that. Otherwise, I can't. It's now because I'm in that profile. When I am in the profile blue, I'm using my second GitHub account, and now I could go. Well, that's a new one. Oh, that's cool. They are like, damn, they are super active. So that's the second PR. That's not even the PR I want to look. Pull requests. If I go and say merged, and I want to sort by newest, yeah. Two days ago. Post transfer. Oh yeah, well, they are super active. They did a bunch of PR. So that's the big PR they did. So yeah, initial post transfer. So after they, and like it's a big one, and yeah, I should add them all to the contributor. I think I will. I will ask them if they are fine with that, and I think they should be part of the contributor. So yeah, so a lot of change, and I think that could be interesting, and I want to explain why they did that as much as I can, and yeah. So if we look into the code, what they, you know what, let's go like this. Can I do that? Oh, I could look the main instead. Well, that's good. Looked like it worked. Oh, I will have to look at that. Apparently, they find a way to. Okay, so what they did is they merged the two projects together. So the URL, the tiny Blazor admin, if you could see here, it's there. So now the code is split a little bit different. You know what, let's go in the corner, Frank. Go in your right corner. There it is. So now the code is in 3 different projects. So we have the core, we'll explain what it is. There's the function, that is the really the place, kind of that manage, that API, that redirect, and that's also the place now you will be able to create a new URL and manage them and everything. And you have the tiny Blazor admin, that is optional. Just like in version 1 and version 2 and version 3, all the version I had, tiny Blazor admin was not mandatory, though you need to deploy a different thing. Now they flip it, so by default you get all the functionality of the URL shortener, meaning you can redirect and you can have all those maintenance URL, the admin tool, kind of like by API is working. And if you want, you can have the tiny Blazor admin website and it will be working. So in the core is all the code. Where is it? So we have the domain with all the classes, the same class. They kind of did some cleanup also, that's pretty good. It's been in my to-do list for a while. I'm happy they did it. It's cool to have other people working on, like now like project feel like it's working super fast. I need to look into the deployment. I'm not sure it will interest everyone, but I was struggling because this new version was using oh, maybe they changed that, but I was using the Azure Function v4, so the engine version 4, and in an isolated .NET isolated process, and I couldn't deploy the Azure function if the code was not at the root. And now they changed that, so I will be like, you know what? Let's go in the JSON document. Let's get out of here. I just want to. So that's the first thing I'm interested. That like I didn't look into it. Or maybe it was fixed also by the team, because I know I reported that to the product team. So maybe they fixed it. Client affinity. So I will have to compare this with the version I had before to see like what they did change. But yeah, it looked like they're still using source control. Yeah, looked like, so it's still .NET 6. That's good. Although, did I put it in 7? Look like no. So .NET 6, but it is .NET isolated, where I saw that here, .NET isolated. That's good. So now we have a better control on when we want to change. We're not forced by Azure when they decide, oh yeah, we're moving on to this version. we can decide when we want to do it. So we have a little bit more control on that. It's really like an individual process. I think it's better. But it is using the engine, so the Azure function version, so the runtime, in other words, is version 4. So that's the latest. So that's great. So we're doing that. I guess we could update to .NET 7. I know the .NET team is really active onto that, so we could do that, and it could be interesting also to see if like there's any gotcha or whatever. Interesting point also they changed. Remember how we, for the URL shortener, so that was one thing. Okay, I'm excited. Can you see it? You have the right to be nervous. Thank you, Isam. So yeah, I'm all over the places. I was telling about Core. So now Core has all the code. Supposed to have all the codes. Your requests. There's the domain. There's the messages. Or maybe that was an in-between. But what Core will be, it will really be containing everything. So now you will be able to have that and you can refer to it, so you could use it in different places. And I think we'll be using, maybe transforming the shortener tool Core into a package that you could like then integrate in a different project. So let's say you want to build a CLI tool, like I was interested into that, like I have even the repo for that, then we could just like call that, we'll have all the functionality. One thing they did change in the Azure function is now it's unsecure. So they removed the security from it, and the reason is they don't want to enforce a specific security. For me, in version 3, the last version, in the Azure function itself, I was just exposing, like I removed everything and I was just having the redirect, right? So it was pure, it was safe. It was just read. So I had one method in my Azure function, one function in my function app, if I use the correct naming stuff, and it was just like redirect. So that was what everybody was using when they are using a short URL. It was just like, hey, I have this short URL, give me the long one, boom, redirect, and you're gone. So I was just reading. But how do you create a new URL? How do you check your statistic? How you can update, add a schedule, and all those things, delete, archive. So that was all done in another Azure function, but that one was under the static web app, and it was in the tiny Blazor admin website. And it was good because like now everything was secure, it was still easy to deploy, but it was bad because like a few users were using it as a CLI already, and they were like creating all those things. But I want the tool to be easy to deploy and all and easy to use. So I couldn't have, and having that was complex. So having it in two tools, it was good. My intention was bringing all the code back together in that core element, and then having it reference inside those two things. So you had the core place, the code for like all the function at one place, then you implement whatever you need somewhere else, just kind of doing a wrapper around the core. And also providing the security. The Azure static website, so in the tiny Blazor admin website, have that. So the Azure function is protected and is not available outside. So that's perfect. It's purely an API for that website, and we had authentication provided also by the static website. So this still live, it's still working. They didn't change it, so it will be working perfectly. For the one who would like to use this, you will need to implement your security. When I talk with Chad, he was mentioning that he want to add some documentation about how you could implement your own security. So we'll do that. And I think maybe we'll have like a client or something like that. That's why I'm interested to have like a CLI or something like that, where people could have that and like feel secure. I don't want this project that, oh yeah, I would like to have that, but I need to code. Like I want this to, hey, and I want that, I have it. So we'll do that. Let me check. Okay. So yeah, I will be that. So probably what I will do, so right now we're working on the reading notes. Once that's done, I'm assuming I will try to have a blitz also maybe offline so that project can progress faster. And after that, I want to, I want to beneficiate of that wave where like we have more now developer being active in the project to also participate. That's pretty cool. I like that energy. So, but I need to finish also the reading notes. It's the tool that I use every week. So, and I think there's a lot of text. I'm having a lot of fun with the book. I can share the book, right? I mentioned the book. Let's do it after. Please remember me, Cloudy's chat, to share the books I'm reading right now. So yeah, so that's for the function. Tiny Blazer admin shouldn't have changed at all. The deployment has changed. Oh yeah, and the function. So remember the function. If you are new to Azure Function, maybe if you already use Azure Function, you know that when you deploy that, you will have a function app. So function app is kind of a container, and then you have all your function in it. And it's always the name of your function app, the URL, the domain name of your function app, then /API/ whatever the name of your function is. But when we do a short URL, we don't want to be, let's say, for me it was C5M for cloud 5 minutes. So c5m.ca/API/ no, we want like as short as possible. And I was using Cloudflare to make some redirection and trim that. Before we had a proxy inside the URL shortener, but it was not supported in the version 4, so that's why I used that. And I was planning to maybe have to, hey, what's happening? And thank you, Marcus. Thank you for the follow. It's really, really appreciate. As you can see, it makes me very happy. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Welcome behind my cloud. Don't hesitate to jump in the chat. Ask any question you want. It's a very open and safe place. We're having fun. We're coding. We're learning. We do mistakes. I share my bad solder skills earlier. And yeah, so feel free to ask if you're not sure. There's a bunch of commands in the chat. You could do !! commands to have them all. There's the game drop that you can play, try to learn, and CB here will try to, not try, he should, no, this way. CB, you're better remembering those scores. Is keeping track of the best scores. And I missed again. So yeah, so that back to the URL shortener. So like we had that. It was in my plan to use the API, Azure API management that the friends call APIM. To use that, there's a tier that is very, very, very budget friendly. So we could have just had a few pennies. That's good. Another undefined process. So we have a bunch of landing today. It's a good day. And Govozorus and the Clipographer and Freda the cat again. Freda has land a few times. Freda, like, cats are good to land, right? I think I have Freda the cat landing each streams. Yeah. So they found a way to not have the need for Cloudflare or the or API management for removing that API part. And the trick is, where is it? it's in the host. So the host file here, it's small, right? Let me bring that bigger. That's better. So in host here, host.json, so inside your project you have host.json. Sorry, my voice is usually you have like version, you have your login where you put your stuff in it. And what you could do is have an extension HTTP and say, hey, the root prefix empty. And now you don't have any root. I really like that. I really like that. Yeah, you can drop it. You don't need the banana. You don't need API anymore. Just like, yep, just like that. You put it free, you don't have API anymore. So, or you could put whatever you want. Pretty cool. So very nice hack. I forgot. I think it was Dave or David, or I forgot his name. But one of the guy in the team found that pretty dope. So yeah, so that was the big PR I wanted to kind of go through because it changed the architecture where we kind of roll back part of it. Like it was always in the plan to do that, but I think now they did it, and like I'm not the only one thinking that way, so I feel a little bit more comfortable doing that move. But we merged the code again, just like it was in version 2. We removed the security so we could add whatever we want or need. We have that split into the project where we have like now the core, and the beauty of it is come on, is now we'll be able to encapsulate that in other projects if we need to. So I feel like that will be a big plus. Now I feel like functions still have like all that. My plan was really to have like, hey, you make your logic and call the core, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, so that's what they did. Any question in the chat? I know it was, for me, like I've been looking into that code this week. I had a meeting with them where they share me the stuff, and it was like they offer me to review it before they merge, and I was like, I don't want to slow you down. I will have a look. I will probably do it in stream. But I want you to move forward. I'm happy they did. They already have like 2-3 more PR, so they are moving forward. I love that. They presented that to their clients because it was for a client, and that's kind of the part also that excites me. I feel like it's a cool achievement. It's a project open source. I did that with you for my personal use, and then other people joined. So I was already feeling very happy about that, being part, having like a good idea and like pushing it and things like that. And now Microsoft take it to present it to his client, and the client was super happy. So client, I don't want to say, I don't know how much I can say, so I won't say too much. But he's planning to use it a lot. It's a big US client, and they did a demo this week, and the client was super happy. So if the client is happy, I'm happy too. So look like what we did was worth it. So I'm very happy about that. So I think it's interesting. So apparently there's docs update. So let's have a look to the docs. So here Chad, great guy, and David. So see, I was right. So David found the hack for the. So I definitely need to ping them today and say, hey, can I add you in the contributor, because I think it's great. It's open source stuff. If you want to collaborate, you can do PR. It's not because it's a Microsoft project that PR won't be accepted. It's still a community project. Microsoft is really into the community work, and you know, little plug here. Let's do that. If I do aka.ms/open at Microsoft. Did I did a typo? No, I didn't. Oh, I should have tapped that in the chat. AKA. Can I do it again? Do you remember? Yeah, you do remember. Let me put that in the chat. Self-promotion here. So I started a show, like I put in place a show with DevRel Studio, and we want to talk about open source projects. So right now we have many different projects that start collaborating, and like there's many more coming. We'll have like big names coming up on the show. So right now we have the Windows terminal. The Windows terminal is here. Windows terminal because it's 1, 2, 3. So they're adding the last episode always on top. So first episode was Windows terminal with Christopher, PM on this project. Awesome guy. So, and yesterday was recording an upcoming episode. So pretty good. I did also an episode with Aaron about the Azure Data Studio. Yeah, Azure Data Studio. That we use here because it's cross-platform. So I have it on my Linux machine. This is a machine that is Linux, by the way, if you didn't know. It's Ubuntu. Oh, fetch. Yeah, let's try that again. There it is. It's Ubuntu. And the last episode of this week was Intro to Winget, Windows Package Management. It's an awesome tool. You should definitely have a look to this episode. Hey, Fragbird is here. Fragbird, I wish you luck. Let's see. Will you land? I need to switch my my camera. I could watch the screen when I'm watching the screen. Yeah. You know what, Fragbird? You just land exactly where I landed earlier. Well, happy to have you come for, even if it's 2 seconds. I'm always happy to see you, Fragbird. So yeah, so Winget, it's like apt-get, it's like chocolatey, but there's a special spin into it. I love that tool. I've been using it more and more and more and more. I recently reformat all my PC. Oh, that was part also, I think, of the reason why I didn't stream 2 weeks ago is like had that new PC where like nothing was installed and everything. Hey, who landed? Oh, was someone from the drop? No, it was 30 Dev. Cool. Congrats. 99. No. Yeah. Well, I think you're the winner of the day. We'll see that later, but you're in a good position. Pretty good. So yeah, so Winget, the Winget CLI, they have a bunch of stuff working on, but the Winget CLI, what it does is you could do a Winget and then install a software. So for example, say Winget OBS, and then it will, or like you should know, Winget show OBS first, yes, or like search or show. I usually go show, but by default it will also search. And it will show you everything that match the name. And then you could see which one is the good one. So you could say, okay, I think it's OBS and then OBS something. Well, let's say when I install Brave, it's brave.brave. That's the identifier. But when you do, hey, Winget Brave, they maybe more choices. And then you say, okay, that's Brave, that's the one I want, so install Brave. So that's cool. So you could do that instead of like searching online and having the good stuff. And when you do show with the ID, you see exactly who where the sources providing come, what's the installer. You could even click on it and do it by yourself. The beauty of it is you could also do like a Winget export, and it will list all the software you have on your machine, even if they were not installed with Winget. So now you have that JSON file with all the software installed, and like if that Winget can find in his report, like in his list, because it doesn't have everything, right? So you could do that. You could remove and say, what, in my new PC I don't want this software, I don't want this. You could clean it up. You reformat your PC. You take Winget and say, hey, Winget, import that list, and it will reinstall all your software. Pretty cool. Another thing that is good that I tried recently is can manage update. So you could do winget update. OBS, a new update was done. I did it through winget. It was just, hey OBS, update, OBS. Hit update, OBS. You could do, hey OBS, update alls. And it will update all the software that, like, you could do update, and it will show like the list, and then you need to specify one. When we say all, it will update everything. So then you could, you know, go brew at beverage and have a few sips, because it can take a while depending on what needs to be updated. But that's pretty cool. Azure Data Studio, love it. We're using it here. It's a query, super light to query a bunch of different databases. I'm using it at the office because there's a Custo. I was using Custo, and now there's also Synapse extension, so I could use that. And Windows Terminal, I think there's no need of introduction. I'm hiding. Zoom. And voila. Windows Terminal, first episode was great. And yeah, and more episode, new project. And the beauty of it is, now that I introduce all those projects, they're going by themselves. So like, I'm out of this so now in the next episode of Windows Terminal, Christopher will bring a guest, and it will be an engineer. They will be talking about a feature. It will be another PM, could be a contributor, could be external project. It's not just about the Microsoft projects. We needed to start somewhere, so I started with like people close to me, because you know, it required maybe a little bit more effort when you start. But we're looking and having external guests to Microsoft. We want to talk about open source and like different projects, like how it is to be a contributor and things like that. So that's a show I'm doing. Pretty happy about it. So yeah, that's why I was like excited about open source. So we have that. What they did change 33 files. So that was about documentation. Okay, so they update. Oh, that's pretty cool. So they update the documentation. Sorry, I'm checking my phone each time just to make sure. And I have another project that could be used by the government. That's pretty good. Okay, so they update the doc. Impressive. Those guys. Update documentation. And now the one here is they are removing our homemade, I think, random number generator by using this one, the crypto service producer. I have no idea what it is. Minimum size I would suggest is 5. Longer would be better, but it's a short URL. Yeah, indeed. Son of it. I think it would be more random than me. Like, initially I had the series where it was really incrementing, so you could see like, yeah, like I'm now in my, when you don't specify the end of the URL, like, you know, like most of the time when I do URL, it's because of video. So like I want something that people can remember. For example, if I do C5M, oh, come on, click. C5m.ca, that's the name of my domain I'm using. And if you do project, you know, it's not like Y and then X1 uppercase W, and like, you know, it's not random. It's like most of the time my URL are like that, and it will bring you eventually. Is my subscription broken? Do I need to put the HTTP? HTTPS maybe? Why was HTTP? Okay. Oh no, it worked. It was just slow. I don't know. Maybe it was sleeping. So yeah, so it brings you to the project. But you could also have one where you don't care. You just want to share that. So it could be c5m.ca. And before, for me, it was like JF1, and then the next one will be 2, and next 3, and so now they have a random stuff, so you cannot predict really what's happening. So I like that. So we had a custom one, and now they use something stronger. I think it's great that they use that. Yeah. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. And yeah, utility.cs. That's pretty cool. So I have no idea though what it is. Oh, it's a system class. That's even better. Whoa, that's cool. That's nice, right? That's pretty cool. Like that. Like that. Cool. So that was the major thing I wanted to show. The other one is it's the same thing for tiny Blazer, tiny Blazer admin, right? I don't even remember the name of my projects. I don't think. Oh, they have pull requests here. Also, see, I updated, but that one, not the other one. Okay. Oh no, someone did it, or I did it. No, it was Tim. Oh, I should have a look. That's pretty cool if we can change that. And here they changed the logger. What? No, that was even 3 weeks ago. So that was also by someone else. Wow, I'm always surprised. People are working on that. Love it. Love it. Okay, so we'll have to do this. That's cool. That's cool. We'll definitely have a look into that. I just want to make sure it's not coming from them. Like since they are sharing with the client, we don't want to break anything though. The client is not using the Tiny Blazer admin website, so I think it should be good. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, combined repository. Deprecated. Okay, so it is deprecated. So I don't know if they implemented the solution. But that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot, in fact. Okay. So that's it for this to do. How's your week have been doing, Cloudies? Is there anyone still there? I've been talking since the beginning. Oh, we did the PR review. I forgot to change my stuff. This week I was happy also. I catch for like 5 minutes, I think. I catch Instafluff streaming. I was happy. If you don't know Instafluff, he's the one behind the drop game. He's the one who did the code. The art is coming from... Oh, I always forgot her name. I'm so sorry. Maya, I think. What's the name? Pixel. Pixel fluff. Pixel. Nope. It's too tiny in my screen, I cannot see it. Pixel Blush. Maya. Maya is the one behind the art. So let me, whoops, I can do this here, boom. I'll share that with you. There it is, and here's Mr. Instafluff himself, so I catch him on stream. It's been a while since he, well, like, maybe he did stream. I think he was saying that he was trying to get back into it. He's been traveling and like super busy. He works now at Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. And I said I want to share the book. So Andrew Luck is the author. Yeah, boom. So that's the blog post. So let's do this. Let's do notes. Exclamation point. Notes. Doesn't feel like it was added. If I do note, no idea if it was added. Anyway, so that's his blog post. He shared a lot about .NET stuff and things, and he wrote the book. There it is. Should have removed the tracking code, but so I've been reading that, and can I? Let me go here first. I think that was one of the things that didn't work. So unfortunately for me, see it. If I do cloud, nope. If I do cloud, Kindle, read. Yeah, I believe it didn't work. So the problem was with me was like I read on Kindle, right? And on Amazon, let's go like this, and I will use my not authenticated, so you won't see anything from me. Oh, I'm on Amazon, so Amazon.com. When I see this book, you don't know who I am, huh? I know. You just see that I'm in Canada. It's good for me. So yeah, so it was this, and so this was the second edition, but the third edition was not available. Oh, third edition, now it is. Oh no, see, paperback. It was not available in Kindle. So if I go third edition, like there's no Kindle. So I was forced to buy it from Manning. It's good, like I don't care. But then I needed to push it to my Kindle or my tablet, and then I don't have it on the cloud. So like if I want to, like my point was to go to cloud reading, I think it's read.amazon.com, and then you could have your books. But because I didn't buy it on Amazon, I cannot see it there. So maybe I should, I think later today I should try to reach out to Andrew, say, hey, like why? Maybe there's a good reason, and yeah. Because I would have bought it there, but yeah. So what I want to do now is I want to have fun with Open API. So one thing I discover, what's that project? File upload. That's not the project I want to work on. I want to go in this one. Now it's sad because I wish I have it. See, you have this. Like it's small a little bit. Let's make it bigger. Whoa, that's big, right? So this is an API, it's minimal API, right? So it's very simple. You just like declare, you say, hey, I'm building an application, and then you say build or build, and you do some mapping. So here, if you just go to the root, you will have hello world. And if that's when we start working, say, hey, my clipping parser, and I'm calling my stuff there. That was before an Azure function, and now I'm passing it here, but then I need to change because I was using isolated function, so it's not HTTP response, it's the data, like it's, I forgot what it is, like it's not the same. I need to change all the code, so I think now I have it to work, but the code is not clean because I'm still reading the book. I'm like 20% of the book. And there was one thing that was cool. So here I have that, but I think what you could do is say, I forgot if it was app. Let's say if it's app dot, yeah, okay, so use middleware and then what it was. That's why I wanted to have the book. How can I do that? Can I check on my tablet maybe? Because with the book, I need to ping him. Let's try that. Oops. Come on, I want to see my books. And see, I don't want to show too much. See, like that's the, it was showing so quickly. It's showing just like the default page. I don't see like the art of the thing. So I want to go back. Because it was cool. Messing around with pipeline. Where was? Okay, welcome page middleware. How is it? Yips. I saw the code. Where it was? Why I cannot see the code? Sorry, I'm reading, well, not reading, just like okay, so now you can do this, and simple scenario. Okay, so we need to create blah 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 using the welcome page middleware. Oh, yeah, okay. So it was use welcome page. Why don't I have... Not sure why I don't see that. Okay, so let's try to run that. Sorry, just to, so if I try to first save, then let's do this. So now if I do .NET build, look like it's working. If I just F5 this, although I have like a default route, maybe I should have, oh no, yeah. That's cool. That's what it does. Love it. Yeah. So now you have that, and you have like a bunch of things like that where you could say, hey, use like a static page, and like you just specify the name of the page, and like it will look. You don't need to have a call for that, and like managing it does a bunch of stuff. So now you know, like it's not a mistake in your code or something. That's what I like about this, is just like, now I have it. Though if I, now I lost my hello world, right? Though, whoa, what's happening? My desk is shaking, but you don't see it too much. Look like that my camera ABIS system is working. So yeah, so now I lost this. So I could say now if I go hello, though I will have to stop it here. It's a little bit big. Let's go just one smaller, okay? Let me know if you cannot see, let me know and I will zoom it for you. Okay, so here we have it. So that's the default. So now if I do hello, we have this. Did I not save? Yeah, I saved. Did I do something wrong? Map hello should go hello world, right? Let's try again. Maybe I should finish that chapter before showing it online. But yeah, so the app builder. Oh, do I need to specify the things before? So now if I go here and do hello, interesting. I know they were talking about the order of the thing. Yeah, I'm right in that chapter. I was just excited to have this functionality because I think has a kind of a ping. Okay, my service is up, but I don't know why it's not working. The only order would like to think about is food order. Don't get me started. It's a tiny bit early, too early for that today here. But no, so that's strange though. Why? Okay, let's stop this. Let's stop this terminal. Let's search. I want to go here. Hey, happy Friday, Frank. Thank you, Finite. Welcome on the stream. Welcome. We're having fun trying to understand because, like, I just at the 20% of the book, even maybe less, and I'm already trying to say, hey, look how it works. I just learned that, and it doesn't work. Well, it worked, but I just like, you know, that's how we learn, right? But yeah. So I just want to learn. Weird. Oh, I missed the plane loaded. The only order with okay. So I said I appreciate the target zone. 1 minute until the drop. Okay. I had some breakfast this morning too. Yeah, I had to. Actually, and yeah, it's just here. It's like it's getting closer because I eat early, right? I'm a morning guy, so I try to not eat when I wake up because otherwise I will be starving to death right now. So I'm trying to have my breakfast later. But for me right now it's like you know 10:40. So like if it was 11 something, I will definitely be falling into that. Okay, I want to eat now, but now you're just kind of like I'm just far enough that I'm not falling into that trap that I want pizza. Good fast over the weekend and have my breakfast on Monday. I just discovered that if I eat when I wake up, let's say like I used to wake up, now it's more 6 a.m., but I used to be like 5 or even 4 something. I want to get back to that habit of getting early. Then like if I eat then, of course, like at 10, like I want food. So I'm just now trying to go and say, okay, breakfast 8 o'clock. And after that, I read the book called, what was it called? Intermittent fasting or something like that. And it's good, apparently, to do that. Okay, confusion about the welcome page middleware using. Okay, let's try to have that. So I have the application pipeline exactly. So it's different, a little bit different. Yeah. So I do that. I was doing that before. Now I know it's part of the intermittent fasting. I try to not eat any snacks in the evening also. That part was a little bit harder because when I get in the zone and I code, like I like to have a drink sometime different than water, and sometimes I could have like almond, whatever bags of mixed nuts with it and things like that, or like popcorn or Doritos or what, you know, snacks. Oh no, I don't do those extend things. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It really helped you? Okay. Okay, so use the welcome page. Welcome option. You could specify where it is. No, that's not what I wanted to see. Okay, use welcome page. Simple. Damn. You know what? Congrats. That's pretty cool. I need to add more sounds. And an applause or something. I think I had it before. And then when I moved, I lost a few. Okay, so that's the thing, but I want to see options. No. Okay, so let's do app dot. Just want to see an example. Why? Oh, well, look like I will need to finish that chapter, Cloudies, unfortunately. Well, we know it's working, it's just now it's ignoring totally my other pages. What if, okay, without reading, like, we're just hacking slashing right now, okay? So if instead I do this, I said, hey, you need after everything. So I declare my mapping, right? I declare my mapping, so hello, and then my clipping parser, and then I specify the welcome page. Will it works? Let's try that. You're a, I'm not sure if you're still there, Finite, but you're a IoT guy, right? If I remember correctly, you had a bunch of, I know you do a lot of Node and JavaScript thing. Why are you not start? Oh, because it's not alt, it's function. Yep, IoT. Lots of IoT stuff. Yeah, I started doing IoT. I was sharing earlier. Where is it? Where did I put my stuff? Where is it? Oh, there it is. So, you know, it's the seeding season right now, where like you put seeds in the earth and like they will grow and stuff like that. And here it's always chilling. I'm in the basement. That's why I'm always having a hoodie. So I was like, hey, I'll have something that take a picture of like every day the plants. So I could, you know, after that make a movie or something, and I will see my own tomato plants grow or something like that, whatever, just for fun, right? And I was like, I will have like something that will take the temperature and like monitor the temperature, again, just for fun. So I have a Raspberry Pi 3, so I had the code, had the camera, and it was working. I was like, cool, but I want something smaller so I could squeeze it where I put my plants. So I got this, I had this little Raspberry Pi 0, and plug everything, and the camera is working, but I don't know, like maybe, like I know it's not the best soldering job Do I have a picture? Let me check if I have a picture. I know it's not the best soldering job, but it's not working. Do I have a photo here? Yeah, I have a photo. Oops, okay. So oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Duh. So it's definitely not the best soldering job. Like I totally agree with you. Can I zoom? Right? It's not that pretty, but there's no contact in between. Like nothing is touching anything else, but it's not working, and I don't know why. And like I take the cable and just plug it on the other Pi, and it's working. So I know, and the camera is working. So it's just the GPIO, but it is an older one, right? We see here it's a Pi 0, and like it's a V1. It's an older one. I don't know. It's not working. So I was kind of like wah, 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 wah. And it was hard. I thought, like, you know, you see the video and like it's all big in your screen, right? And it's like, okay, that looks simple, just like psh, 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 and then you try to do it and like super tiny. That was the thing. Oh yeah, maybe I could. You're right. See, that's why I want to chat with people who know their stuff. So I need, like, I don't know which one is. Yeah, I don't know which one. So I have like, I was taking the pin. I have this. Oh, I have. We can Google it. I just want to test this first. If we've fixed it. No. Okay. So it's still not working. So Raspberry Pi GPIO, and I need to say it each time because okay, I want to see this image but big. Cool. So I was using here that one for power. I need 5 volt, right? So I could try the other one if I want to. I need a ground, of course, so like there's plenty of ground. And right now I was using this one, GPIO 4. So I don't know. I don't know how it works. Like, how do I know? Like, it's in my code, right? In my Python code, it just say, hey, instead of this one, use GPIO 22. So you need to update the code. But that's how I test if one of the GPIO pin shoulder connection is bad. So it could be fried, right? Because the pins are not very. Oh, like go back to bigger screen. I'm not sure you will be able to see it correctly. Yeah, it's too close for the camera. Oh, yeah, you could see it a little bit. Come on, focus. The pins are like going up and down and up and down. So maybe I need to remove that, start over with another set of pins. But I will try first that. And yes, in my code had I could specify the pin, but I was not sure if like I could use any pin for anything, or like pins have specialties. Like if it's just a pin, is it okay except for those one with the pink stuff? Oh yeah, the first time I solder stuff, so yeah, 2 pins were touching each, like my soldering, 2 pins was touching each other, but it was not in the same area where I was connecting anyway. It's possible. I'll have to do more. So I didn't do a lot of like for me the IoT is more about like a tiny little computer that I do stuff. I did have a bunch of cables, but I didn't do a lot with them. Like had a plan for like having a watering system about all the pieces, and then I look at my stuff and it's like, oh, I need to do a lot of soldering. I'm not sure I want to do that. Some pins have specialties, yeah, and that's why I was pretty so like I need to find out. But I think in the script I saw like you could have like 2 different pins, so I will try to find another one because it is for temperature. Oh, sorry, I should share my screen. So some pin have specialties, but for something like temp sensor, you are probably okay most. Okay, I will have a look anyway. It's the BR. Forgot what it is. BTH 22 or something like that. Everything is so small on those things. And also, like, you cannot know what it is. Yeah, I will have to look. But yeah, okay, thank you for the tips. I will definitely have a look into that. It's mostly the top of the hour, so I think we should try to find someone and try to raid. Is there any of our friends that are there today? Cool, yeah. Do we have friends? We have Jackie who's coding, we can raid. We have Atomium chatting about what it's in French. I should send you all that, all there. That would be funny. How many people do we have though? Like I don't want to raid if we're just like 9. We could raid. Any suggestion? Who should we raid? Help me find it. We're 9, so it's worth it. It's a tiny raid, but it's cool. Like you know, when you get raid and you have like more than 2-3 viewers, it's cool. But I need suggestions. I don't want to send you to French stuff because not a lot of you will be enjoying that stream. Trish puppy? What she's doing. Let's have a look. Come on, remember that I don't want sounds, please. Hack the box. Cybersecurity. Oh, I think I saw her. Yeah. Why I'm not following her? Yeah, let's do that. I like it. Good idea, thank you. Let's go. Raid. Oh, I should do some save the show notes, and then we can stop it so CB can take a break. And now we do the raid with Trish puppy. Did it work? Did it work? Whoop, lost my cam. Oh no, why did I lose my cam? Well, I'm still here, guys. It's definitely time to raid. Not sure why the command didn't work, but have a nice... Told you I was having issue with my camera, right? at least you can hear me. So have a great weekend, and see you next week. I'm waving on the screen. Bye bye.